Welcome to an Earful of Bj, coming at you live on this Wednesday evening, and Faj is at band practice, so we're bringing Chris aboard. How you doing, Chris?
Hey, I'm doing great. It's good to be part of this show. This is my favorite podcast, so happy to be on it.
Good. And, you know, as you all know, we weren't here last week because we were partaking in Thanksgiving. Chris, did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I had a great Thanksgiving. Met some of the girlfriend's family. Got grilled by them, and then the rest of the weekend was really good down in Huntingburg.
Oh, good. Are you a dark meat or a white meat kind of guy?
Oh, I'd say dark meat all the way.
Okay, I would agree.
What about you?
I would agree, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's too dry. The white meat's too dry.
Yes, I had that debate all Thanksgiving with people. Chris, man, you guys also did something interesting over the break. You guys made a pretty funny video, I'll have to admit, even though at the end was at my expense.
Oh, well, I'm surprised you guys found it funny because there's nothing funny about the McConnells taking the championship this year.
Oh, shoot. Well, if you guys haven't seen it, go on Facebook and watch it. It is pretty funny. But just quickly, Chris, my team, when I first drafted it, you look at the team and you're like, pretty solid lineup. But guys like Jarvis Landry, Jordan Howard, Dalvin Cook, Sterling Shepard, none of those guys showed up. What the heck happened?
I think for you, it was the Dalvin Cook and Jay Ajayi injury combo, because that was going to be your foundation. And once those guys went down, I really felt bad for you, my friend. I really did.
Well, thank you. But enough about the losers, aka me. Let's look at the fun part now, the playoffs. Man, I'm excited for that.
Playoffs.
Yeah. Look from I just looked at it briefly right now. It looks like Colin, Chris, Sean, Clay, Trent, and Mark, I think, are the ones that are locked in. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That sounds about right. I know that all I really have been focusing on is my division, and I know everybody but me is just up for grabs this week.
Yes. And then the one team I am so focused on is Logan and my dad. But in particular, Logan, because he's so good. But right now, my dad owns the playoff spot because he beat him head-to-head.
He got the head-to-head? I didn't realize that. But
yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'd say looking ahead, we're all just hoping that Logan doesn't make the playoffs.
Exactly.
But
Chris, what happened to his team? I thought he was at the beginning, I thought he was so good. Was he just getting bad matchups?
Oh, absolutely. He was just, I think for a while, didn't he have the most points scored? I mean, for the first several weeks.
Oh, yeah. Believe it or not, he still has the most points scored.
Well, there you go. I mean, that says it all right there. He was just getting the raw end of the deal.
Yeah, and looking at it, he's got almost 300 points more scored against him than you or anyone else in his division. It's just
wow.
It's just a shame. But I picked him at the beginning of the year that I really liked him to win the championship, and if he gets in, I think you and him would have a good go at it.
We always do. It's like the Colts Patriots when me and Logan get together and have to play each other. But,
oh yeah. And the other McConnell in the video, Clay, the commish. Man, I was really down on his team a couple weeks ago, but I think he took a turn for the better, and I'm going to go through my reasons for that.
Let's hear it. Okay,
he got rid, well, he didn't get rid, but he's got Lamar Jackson, who I think is a much better quarterback. Maybe not right now, but he's better than Joe Flacco fantasy-wise. And I'm just, as you know, I'm not a fan of Joe Flacco. I can't stand him. I think he had a great, 3 playoff games or whatever, and that's what he's remembered by. What else has he done besides throw a bunch of interceptions?
That's a good point. I definitely think Lamar Jackson's got a higher ceiling. I mean, he could definitely, one of these games, he's going to run crazy and pull off like a Cam Newton type of day. Mm-hmm. So you got to worry about that with Clay for sure.
And then Clay, James Conner, not that he's changed, but he officially has the lead role for the rest of the season. And Aaron Jones, they've really started leaning on him with the Packers because Aaron Rodgers, although he's not turning the ball over, he just doesn't look like himself.
Yep, that's absolutely true. And good on Clay for getting on the James Conner train early, man. He really snuck one in there.
He did.
That was
early on. Wow.
Killer.
Yeah. His wide receivers are really weak. That's the only part that scares me about Clay.
True. Well, that being said, the guy that I'm most scared of is the guy I played last week, Colin.
Oh my gosh.
He's got a wide receiver core that could win him every game for the rest of the playoffs. He's got Michael Thomas, Odell Beckham, and there's another one in there.
Let's see who it is. Let me look. Alshon Jeffrey, Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah, I mean, whew.
Yeah, Larry's getting older, but he can still put up touchdowns.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and they're going to be one of those teams. The Cardinals are going to be one of those teams fighting, in the end of the season because they don't have anything else to play for other than wins. So.
Oh, exactly right. Exactly. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Chris, the game of the week. I'm going to go ahead and put my dad versus Jake because they're both got a lot to fight for. If my dad wins, he's in. I think the same goes with Jake.
Yes, and I'm glad you said that because I wanted to throw out there to Jake. I hope he's listening one of these times that, I happened to play Kyle this week, who kind of puts a little bit of Jake's fate in my hands. So I just want Jake to know that, if he's up and Kyle's got a chance to beat me, I could possibly, if I really, really wanted to get back at him for Zeke week, I could sit some of my starters. I could sit some of those starters and let Kyle, really compete for that last spot there because he's got the head-to-head on Jake.
Boy, what a thing to do!
So I just want Jake to quake in his shoes a little bit.
Yeah.
Let him know that his fate might be in my hands.
That's true. I hope he's listening. And Chris, he doesn't have Melvin Gordon this week, and Marvin Jones is out.
Oh, I know. He's hurting.
He's reeling. He was so good when he was with us here a couple weeks ago, but he's taken some injuries. O.J. Howard's out, who is a top 5 tight end. Ooh. And my dad gets back A.J. Green this week, who is by far the center point of his team. I mean, it's a good game. Who do you got?
Man, that's so tough, but I think like you said, just because of that injury of Melvin Gordon, who was a big part of Jake's, team, and then getting AJ Green back, I think that swing might be enough to give Dave the advantage.
You think so?
I think so.
All right. Well, and my dad's the only guy now, I think, that's made the playoffs every year. He's 3 for 3, looking for the 4th one.
Wow. That's a great stat. I didn't know that.
It is, yeah. So I guess I don't know who I'm going to take. I'll probably take Jake then. Just have a little. But here, I'm going to sing this by myself. Blowing it, blowing it, blowing it, blowing it, blowing it with the beach. You blow it!
You blow it!
And Chris, I don't have one person in particular. I'm going to call out so many different people for so many inactives that are being played this year. I'm so upset.
I can hear it in your voice.
Is this the most we've ever seen?
It's the most we've ever seen.
Why is this happening?
I'll tell you why. It's because the bench is so small. That's all I can say.
But what about Lee, who's played I don't know how many inactives, and his team is better than mine? I've never played an inactive in my life.
Oh, man, I don't know what to tell you. He's just got that Big Deborah luck this year.
I guess, man. But, yeah, we've had so many people doing that. And last, was it 2 weeks ago or whatever, I called you out on the Sam working his tail off. What was going? What's that all about?
Hey, he's doing better than Blake, isn't he?
That's true. Oh, my gosh. Don't even get me started on Blake. He's played 1 million inactives. I think he gave up week 2.
Oh, man. Well, let me say something. I did have a good conversation with Jake about the Marvin Jones inactive, and he had been sick all week.
I heard about that.
He was really struggling. And, he got real, real sick, and then he realized minutes before the Thursday game started, he forgot that there was the games, and he checked. He was right on it, but he was about 3 or 4 minutes too late, he said. And he was kicking himself. Trust me.
Oh, and I don't blame him for that. I'm just saying there's some people that repetitively are doing it this year that normally wouldn't do it.
That's true.
Chris, I'm going to throw this your way. Playoffs are coming, man. There's one sneaky team that I'd like to throw out there. Mm-hmm. How about Sean? Dude, he's coming on with Baker Mayfield and Nick Chubb now. Man, those guys are on fire. He's got DeAndre Hopkins, Diggs, Adrian Peterson, who's revived his career. And Sean's won 5 straight. I think the most in the biggest streak in the league right now.
You know what? I'll be honest. When I think about Sean, I think he's the Joe Flacco of fantasy football. He's just so, I don't really think he's good. I don't really think he's bad. I don't really think about him. He's pretty forgettable, and I think that's what he would do in the playoffs too. He would just be forgettable and kind of.
Now I'm gonna disagree with you because you compare him to Joe Flacco, but remember that one playoff series Joe Flacco had?
Well, that's true.
He could do it. I could see, he's in Clay's conference here. I could see him upsetting Clay or, something crazy like that.
Wow. Captain Crunch.
Captain
Sean.
Yeah. He's going to win his division, I bet you.
Wow, that's wild to think about. Well, Sean, we got to get together over the holidays. We got to see that guy and see what his secret is.
Yeah, I'd like to know because I certainly don't have it now. Chris, how do you feel about your own team, man, heading into the playoffs?
Oh man, if there was a word better than glamorous, that would be how I feel. I'm going all the way, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now. I'm gonna win this year, and I'm gonna win 2 more championships out of the next 5 years. I'm putting it down on the record. I want you guys to know that I'm just that confident. It's gonna be another ring this year. I'm gonna go into the two championship club. And then after this, there's going to be 2 more years in the next 5. I'm going to be the first guy to have 5 rings in this. 4 rings. Sorry, not 5 rings. 4 rings.
Jeez, Chris, you better work on your doorways. I don't know how your head's going to fit through there.
Well, it's been a tough fit for a while, but it's butter the ears a little bit. Always seem to get through there.
There you go. Oh shoot, man! Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I projected Logan at the beginning of the year to win it all, and I'm sticking with that. Although I know your team is very, very potent. You could win any game at any time, as you've done. You're 9-3, but your division is just so tough. I think that side of the bracket is going to be awesome to watch in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Yeah, if you told me I was going to have to win 9 games to secure a spot, I'd have been blown away, and I still am. It's pretty crazy year.
Yeah. We just got a touch of time left here. Your dad, Jake, brought up on the other show that maybe he doesn't do the ownership. Maybe it's you and Clay.
Oh, preposterous. I'll just tell you that. If it was me and Clay, he would have 9 wins like us. So, there's no worry there.
Is this the best team Clay's ever had?
Oh, yes, I would say so. Yeah. He's in pretty good shape, especially if Allen Robinson comes around. And
the 2 trustees kind of scaring you?
Scare is not the right word. I would say definitely not scaring me. Kind of a good for them. It's kind of like you see the, Padawan become the Jedi, and you say, okay, good for you. Enjoy it while you're here. So. Yeah,
well, yeah, that's true. Now, Kyle could easily sneak in, and he could do some damage, too, I think. Kyle's I always say it, but he's scrappy, and he could do it.
Well, the thing about Kyle is he's going to get Grudened. He's going to get Grudened. So you can pretty much count on that about as much as you can count on anything.
Well, I guess that's true. But as we're wrapping it up here, I thank you, Chris, for coming on the show, man, and best of luck to you in this game and the playoffs.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. Good luck to you, too.
Thank you. Have a good one, Chris.
See you, guys.